the Middle East is a Roman Catholic trained at Georgetown. His top speechwriter, trained at Georgetown University, John Favreau, a Roman Catholic. His deputy communications director, trained at Georgetown University. His Department of Labor, a Roman Catholic. The Department of the Interior, Roman Catholic. The Department of Health and Human Service, Kathleen Sebelius, a strong liberal Roman Catholic. Every time, the Surgeon General, Roman Catholic. It almost seems every time you turn around and an appointment is made, it is almost always a Roman Catholic, or at least much of the time. I don't want to say that it's always that way, because he's just appointed a Jew. The vote is almost certain that she's going to be on the Supreme Court. So he doesn't always do that, and he has other religious types of people involved in his administration. But a lot of the very key positions, the Department of Labor, that's very important, controlled by the Roman Catholics. So Rome is gaining enormous power in the United States. Now, while I'm not going to go into all the ramifications of the health care bill, I do need to tell you one piece of information that will help you understand the rest of what I'm going to say this afternoon. Originally, the bill had provisions in it that would allow the government to pay for abortions as part of the health care plan. Okay? They were going to pay for abortions. The bill delegated to the Secretary of Health and Human Services the power to make abortion an essential benefit in all health plans. Now, Kathleen Sebelius is the head of Health and Human Services, and she's a strong supporter of liberalized abortion. By the way, I should mention something that I found very intriguing about the Department of Health and Human Services. I read in the Catholic press that Catholic Charities USA had entered into and signed a contract with the federal government for $100 million to provide disaster relief within the United States for the next 5 years. It just happens since Obama came into the presidency. $100 million. I thought to myself, now that's a handout to Rome. Every time you have a disaster, the Catholic Charities will be there to impress the people with Catholic care, you see, and how good the Catholic Church is. This is a PR move par excellence, and it's all at taxpayers' expense. That's illegal in the United States. It's unconstitutional. But that's what he did, and nobody seems to object. Now, if he would have given it to Islamic charities, there would have been a hue and cry. Big time, wouldn't it? But not if it's the bishops, not if it's the Catholic Church. I wanted to know something, though. Where did this money come from, besides taxpayers? I wanted to find out where. What department was the Catholic Charities getting this $100 million from? That's a lot of money. You think about $100 million. I could use $1 million, just one. Would be happy. I'd be happy with one. It comes from, and I did a little research and very quickly found out that it comes from the Department of Health and Human Services, the very department that oversees abortion in the United States. And I thought to myself, what's going on here? You see, the Roman Catholic Church is more interested in $100 million than they are in abortion. If they were really serious about stemming abortion in the United States, they would have turned their back on that $100 million and they would have said, we cannot accept it because it's from a compromised source. If they were consistent, see, so I say, what is this? You know, this is, Hush money? You know what hush money is?
Yeah.
You know, those of you from the city, you know what hush money is. It's money to keep your mouth silent. Don't fight the abortion thing so much. How much have you heard about abortion in recent times? Well, really not that much, although Rome is very, very committed to opposing the Obama administration on abortion. And they do make it public. They're not afraid to take it on publicly. But they know that Catholic Charities has this money from the Department of Health and Human Services, the very department that oversees abortion and that liberalizes abortion, that's promoting the liberalization of abortion. Would you call that a conflict of interest? I do. That is an outright conflict of interest. Now, I'm not making a political speech this afternoon. I'm talking about not politics here, friends. We're talking about prophecy. Rome is rising to power. Rome's position on abortion is one of her doctrines, on which most of us can agree. Nevertheless, Rome uses this doctrine for her own ends. In this case, Rome saw her opportunity to pressure liberal abortion-supporting lawmakers into removing the abortion funding in order to pass the law. It doesn't have abortion funding in it. At least, it's not supposed to. The original bill created quite a firestorm of opposition. You probably remember the strong talk that was going on in town hall meetings across the country. And it stemmed from various aspects of the legislation. The health care bill, however, ran into problems in subcommittee. Conservatives, especially Catholic members of Congress, had introduced an amendment to prevent federal money from being used to pay for abortions. But the subcommittee dropped the amendment, much to the dismay of the Catholic Church. It appeared as though the health care bill was in trouble. Conservatives in Congress were strong enough to defeat the whole bill if it did not prevent support for abortion. Then the bishops weighed in. Cardinal Regali of Philadelphia, who is the chairman of the Bishops' Pro-Life Committee, wrote Congress a letter on July 29 of last year, which vowed that the bishops would vigorously oppose a health care bill that provided funding for abortion. I won't read you all the details of the letter, but clearly the bishops were planning to use their influence to lobby Congress to comply with Rome's doctrine. Remember the statement in the Spirit of Prophecy that says that her doctrine is gaining influence in legislative halls? But as that debate wended through Congress, I wondered if the Catholic Church would get more involved in the issue in some way. And little did I know that they were planning to going to mobilize a major all-out campaign to engineer a coup d'etat and force liberal Democrats to vote in favor of conservative amendments against abortion funding. On November 11, 2009, the Associated Press published a report. They said, Catholic bishops shape health care bill. The opening statement is very revealing. Catholic bishops have emerged as a formidable force in the health care overhaul fight, using their clout with millions of Catholics and working behind the scenes in Congress to get strong abortion restrictions into the House bill. I want you to notice the bishops use their clout with millions of Catholics in America, 68 million of them in fact, to pressure Congress to do their will. They work behind the scenes, stealthily I might add, just as prophecy predicted. The second sentence in the article is also equally as revealing. The bishops don't spend a dime on what is legally defined as lobbying, but lawmakers and insiders recognize that the bishops' voices matter and they move votes.